Okay, I'm gonna make oyster fried chicken, or fried chicken oyster, or it's really mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms made like fried chicken. And here's a little tip that you need to know when you're making oyster fried mushrooms in the air fryer. Now, if you've done it in oil on the stove like I've done a million times, it's really great to get that wet batter that is sort of like a flour base, right? So it's almost like a pancake mix, and then your dry batter, of course. But when you're doing it in the air fryer, you want to use a wet batter that's very thin, like milk or just egg, because the air fryer can tend to make the crust too thick, too tough, and a little too crunchy. And you don't want it crunchy, you want it crispy and light. So we're going to use some unseasoned and unflavored milk here to wet up our mushrooms. Okay, I'm not going to use the whole thing. You have the directions in your recipe card. I'm going to use some garlic powder. All of that yummy flavor. I like to use sage because it makes it, to me, taste like chicken. I don't know why, but I just associate the sage flavor with chicken, so I use sage. This is a little Cajun spice. You don't have to use this. It's going to be salty and Cajun-y, and a little smoked paprika just to give it a smoky flavor. Most chicken doesn't have smoky flavor, but that's my own personal spices. And you know what? You can use your own blend. What I'm really showing you here is technique, but if you want to do something in terms of flavor that's different, go ahead. I have some mushroom seasoning here, but I'm not going to use it for this. So I'm going to mix these all together so that the seasoning gets on them and they also get nice and wet. You can use your hands here. I'm just going to use this tongs right now, but you can definitely use your hands to get in there. Make sure all the seasoning is evenly distributed and everything has a little seasoning. You really just want this to be nice and wet. There we go. That looks perfect. Lost one. Put it back. That looks amazing. Now, I'm going to take these and put them into a bag of dried seasoning. And this is flour based. Now, I have a recipe for you that you can use, or you can just get yourself. This one I got from the Asian market. It's a Korean fry mix. Sometimes I use it when I just want to be fast, and that's what I'm doing today. But you have a great recipe in your recipe card that you can use as well. Some days you want to be fast and you just go and buy yourself some fried chicken mix, and that's okay, right? Because that's what we're doing here. We're trying to eat healthy, get good food, and do it fast and easy. And sometimes fast and easy is just buying the fried chicken mix. Like I said, you have a wonderful recipe that you can try on the recipe card. I'm going to move this to the side. Pull out my air fryer. Okay, what I need to do is spray the air fryer first. Spray the bottom. Then I'm going to take out my mushrooms. Shake them out. Single layer here. Do not just pour this in and expect that you're going to get that crisp that you want. You need to single layer it. So if you're trying to make a lot of chicken or a lot of oyster mushrooms, fried chicken, whatever you want to call it, make sure that you allow enough time for single layers, right? Or ask your friends to bring their air fryers over so you can do it all together. These have little stems on them. You can cut the stems off if you want. Be aware that sometimes those stems are a little tough. I like to keep them on. A little something to hold on to. And if it's too tough, then I just don't eat it. But for the most part, they're nice and yummy. All right, so that's one layer. Let me see if I can get one more in. There we go. One more layer. One more. And then I'm going to spray it again. You want to spray it on the top, spray it on the bottom. And I'm going to tell you another thing too. You're probably going to have to spray this in the middle. Once you see it starting to do its thing, you're probably going to have to spray it one more time to make sure that you don't have any white flour pieces, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put it on temperature. I'm going to put it on air fry, definitely. Temperature 400, time 15 minutes, and we're going to go. We're going to check this in the middle, though, to make sure it doesn't need to be sprayed again. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so it's been in for 7 minutes. I'm going to go ahead. It has a little white flour on it, so I'm going to spray it again so it's nice and crispy for the next 7 minutes. And I'm going to also, turn it over. See how both sides are doing. Oh, yeah. See, the other side needs a little spraying, too. I'm going to turn them over a bit because it's white flour there. We don't want the white flour. So there we go. Spraying it. I'm going to put it back in. Okay, so it's been the whole 15 minutes, and now my chicken is done. And as you notice, I'm using just a regular plate here with no blotter. No napkin, no paper towel or anything like that. No dish towel because it's no oil here. Right? There's my chicken. My oyster mushrooms. There we go. Yummy. Put that in there. And oh, the cleanup is so easy, right? You can just clean that up, no problem. And there you go. Let me taste it. Oh, yes, that crisp. Yes, you hear that crunch? But not tough. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Perfect. So good.